My Knicks up 7 at halftime against the Cleveland Cavaliers before it all went to hell. And by hell, I mean second half of a back-to-back. Tom Thibodeau playing the starters into dust. And the Cavs dusting the Knicks in the second half, winning and covering the spread. To the point that I'm watching the game last night, and I'm in New York. I'm watching the game, and I think it was on nationally. And Karl Anthony Towns is in towards the end, and they're down by 16. He's going up for a layup. He gets rejected by Jarrett Allen from behind, and Jarrett Allen's a large man. Towns goes tumbling to the ground with such force, like into the front row, and the Cavs immediately fast break, and I'm wondering, is Cat okay? Like, is he going to get up? Now, thankfully he did, but just, hey, Tom Thibodeau, do you think at some point, like, Mikal Bridges doesn't have to play 46 minutes in every game? Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns. Bad news for my New York Knicks as they lose yet again last night to an elite team in the NBA. That now makes it 0-8 this season for the Knicks against the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Thunder, the 3 elite teams in the NBA. But it's not just those 3 teams that the Knicks lose to. The Knicks basically lose to every single really good team in the NBA. In this recent stretch, one game with Jalen Brunson, one without, for instance, they lose to the Lakers and the Warriors. Those 2 teams will play tonight in Los Angeles. So the bad news for my Knicks is can't beat good teams. The Knicks did get a piece of good news today, though. And I'm a Knicks fan, so it's a piece of good news for me as well. Maybe you're a Knicks fan, whatever. Maybe you want to bet the Knicks, in which case it's great news. Jalen Brunson, the Knicks' best player, has been cleared for basketball activities. And per Chris Haynes, NBA insider for our friends at Turner Sports, Brunson will be questionable for Saturday's game for the Knicks on the road in Atlanta against the Hawks. And if Brunson doesn't play in that game, presumably, he would play Sunday when the Knicks host the Phoenix Suns. And we haven't seen Brunson since March 6th when the Knicks lost in overtime to the Lakers in Los Angeles in what was an awesome game. And Brunson got hurt like right at the end of that game against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I said in the wake of the Brunson injury on this show, in this, the NBC Sports Now Power Hour on Peacock and otherwise, that if the Knicks could just make it to the end of the season healthy, Robinson healthy, because he wasn't healthy for most of the regular season, center Mitchell Robinson, Anunoby, Hart, Bridges, Brunson, be healthy at the end of the season and look halfway decent against some good teams, then, man, I could be into the Knicks come playoff time. Because think about it, right? It's been, correctly, I think, a fait accompli, a veritable lock that the Eastern Conference Final is the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cavs having home court. The Knicks have pretty much been dismissed by everybody. Milwaukee is without Lillard. The Pacers are good, but like you would think, like they play no defense. Maybe they could win a round. The Pistons are really fun, but is Detroit really going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals this year? First year on their run with Cade Cunningham and company, like Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago. Just no way. It's Boston and it's Cleveland. But now the Knicks have an opportunity here to maybe play themselves onto the map, the betting map, as far as the Eastern Conference goes. Brunson's going to be back, you would think. Not definitely, but you would think he's either playing Saturday or Sunday. The Knicks next week have a really interesting 3-game stretch. Tuesday night, they host the Boston Celtics. Thursday night, they are at the Detroit Pistons. Now, the Pistons got worked last night by the Thunder. Oklahoma City works everybody. I'm not going to hold that against Detroit last night. Detroit's going to come out and they're going to give the Knicks their best shot. They may actually, literally, punch the Knicks in the mouth. Have you watched the Pistons play this year? Just ask the Minnesota Timberwolves how that goes. At Detroit on Thursday, and then the Knicks host the Cleveland Cavaliers on Friday night. Now, I don't think this is going to happen. I am, to be fair, a pessimistic Knicks fan. But also, you have to be objective when you do what we do for a living, right? It can't just be, I hope for something to happen. You have to answer yes to the question, would you bet on it? And my answer to that question is no. But it doesn't mean that what I'm about to say can't or won't happen. And everybody needs to consider this, right? Because it's possible that this happens. What happens if Jalen Brunson's back and the Knicks beat the Celtics and the Cavs next week? Or like beat Boston and like lose a really close game to Cleveland and you walk away next Friday night. We've been dancing tabletops and we did too many. It's Katy Perry. It's a good song. Check it out if you haven't already. And maybe you walk away from that game thinking, damn, Knicks are onto something here. If that happens, would you consider betting the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference? 10-1. I think we're on a collision course for Knicks Celtics in round 2, the 2 and 3 seeds in the East. Would you ever bet the Knicks in a 7-game series against Boston? So again, I have a Knicks thingy in my background that I bought on Etsy. It's like $20. I love it. Love Etsy. Love it. I would love for the Knicks to beat the Celtics. I'm a New Yorker. It would be great. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the Knicks are going to beat the Cavs. I think they're going to lose both those games next week. But again, we have to consider as bettors, what happens if they win? Would you then consider the New York Knicks to do something in the Eastern Conference playoffs? It is a question and a series of events that we may have to ponder coming up 8 days from now.